Okay, so this is a guide for people planning to visit Montreal. I'm going to begin with some screenshots of the actual city. Montreal is really an island, okay, located in Canada. It's the second biggest city in Canada. And there's the airport where you're going to land. All right, I'm pointing that out with the cursor. That's the Dorval Pierre Elliott Trudeau Airport. And there's a bus that brings you to downtown, and we're going to go on Google Maps on the transit. It brings you to Barrie Station. All right, that's the 747 bus. It brings you there. It costs $10, at least as of today. When you watch this video, it might be more expensive. It certainly won't be less expensive. Using the transit button and the to and from with Google, you get a pretty good idea of like how to get there. It's the 747 bus. You can also go there by taxi. But that will bring you to the heart of downtown. The downtown of Montreal is pretty well connected with the transit system. More on that later. But first, what I'm going to talk to you about is when you actually get off the plane after you've cleared the customs and immigration procedures, what are you going to look at and how will you take the bus? This is always I find very confusing when I'm traveling. So here we are. You've left the immigration area. And you're walking out, and what you're going to do is you're going to go towards your right. There's a little store, convenience store, and you're going to go to your right, and that machine right there, that blue machine that you can see that I'm walking towards, that's where you'll buy your ticket for the bus. All right, so that's that. Now that's the bus you're going to take. We're looking at the same place from a different angle. You see that machine there? People are lining up to get their tickets for the bus. That's where you get your ticket for the bus, and it provides very cheap transportation to downtown. These are what the metro stations look like. This is not the exact metro station you'll be at, but this is what they look like. If you look at the top, there is a blue sign with a white arrow pointing down. Every time you see those, that means it's a metro station. You can go inside. All right. So as you can see here, there's a tour bus. A lot of people like to use bikes in Montreal. If you noticed, it's a pretty bicycle city. At least the downtown and eastern part is very bicycle friendly. The West Island is less bicycle friendly. Here it is again. Look at these. These are called Bixie bikes, and you can pretty much rent them and ride all over the place you want. However, Montreal is still car friendly, so you can rent a car. As you start your trip to Montreal, there's a few places that you want to visit. Like I said, it's a pretty good walking city, so those are like the main arteries I'm trying to point to. That's the downtown area right here that I'm looking at right here. This whole area is pretty much downtown. And you're going to want to start in the old port, right? So I'm going to toggle here between the transit view and the road view. Look at the transit system. It's pretty clear. You can see the different lines, the green line, the blue line, and the orange line. That area that I'm pointing to right now, that's the downtown core, all right? That is the downtown core. So it basically starts up top at the Barrie station, the metro station. And where I'm pointing to with the mouse is the main areas you want to walk, okay? So I don't know if you get an idea of that. You guys can look on Google Maps and look at it for yourself. But we're going to look at the old port now. We're going to start with the old port. Montreal was started as a port city and many hundreds of years ago. And so the old port area is pretty touristic, actually. It's all along the St. Lawrence River. And you have excellent walking, excellent sightseeing, lots of green spaces, and it's a pretty good place to be seen or to look at other people. Something about Montreal is that Quebecois people, which is the people who live in the province of Quebec, are generally very attractive people. I mean, look at these. These are all mothers, right? They just had kids. Look at them. They're running, all right? So it's very, very health-oriented, very good-looking people in Montreal. No ego involved in that statement. So this is another look at the old port. Just a great place to go walking, spending the afternoon. If it's sunny, you can go sit down, perhaps read a book, look around. So this goes on for about maybe 2-3 kilometers, the old port area. Of course, walking alongside the river is not everyone's thing, so there's the old Montreal, we call it, which is next to the old port, which is pretty much an older part of the city, but they kind of like kept it nice. Here you can see the cobblestone roads. There's a bunch of tourists. Imagine this is 10 o'clock in the morning. Right, there's tourists walking around all over the place. In the afternoon, it's full of people. You can't move. Here's another view at it during more busy hours that I got on the go with the camera. It's very nice. The architecture is like kind of old, so it kind of gives you like a taste of Europe. All right, and the old port, the dividing street of the city, Saint Laurent Street or Saint Lawrence Street. This is the street that divides the city from east to west. And it also gives you pretty good access everywhere. So here we are back at the Google Maps view, and we're going to go up St. Lawrence and to the area where there's all the festivals. Montreal has lots of festivals, so as you go up Saint Laurent Street from the river, you will hit St. Catharines. And St. Catharines is where there's all the festivals. So if you start at Saint Laurent, there it is, you can see it right there. You turn left on St. Catharines, and that whole area is where all the festivals, jazz festivals, music festivals. During the summer, there's so many festivals that they've actually cut off those roads to cars. So now we're at the corner of St. Catherine and Saint Laurent, and we're looking westward. Now, this is right here, what you see is where the festivals are going to be. If you go over top that hill, there's like a slight hill, that's where you get all the shopping. Alright, so you walk from there towards the west all along St. Catharines. You're going to go through the festival area, and then you're going to go through prime shopping area until Atwater. This is Duluth Street. If you keep going up Saint Laurent, you're going to find Duluth Street, which is basically restaurant heaven. Now, there are a lot of restaurant spots in Montreal. It's kind of, that's the way it is. This is Saint Denis Street. It's a street that runs parallel to Saint Laurent. And it's great for young people to go out and have a drink. Young people meaning, let's say, under 35. This area is mostly francophone, though people will speak English. Though if you're more comfortable in English, you can go to Crescent Street, which is pretty much a bar place for Anglophones. It's close to the English universities. All right, so back to the map view. Going up Saint Laurent always, this is Mont Royal Street. Now, why am I pointing this street out? Well, it's kind of like a good place to take a walk. There's nice of lots of places to eat. And Mont Royal is connected to the mountain Mont Royal. So we'll take a look at this street a little bit on video to see what it's like. And once again, if we look at the transit view, you can see which metro station you can get off at. And that was Mont Royal. We just saw Mont Royal there. So that's pretty, once again, you see the convenience of the public transportation for tourists. I find it's just top notch. The street is not very long. I think you can walk in about 2 or 3 hours, so it's not too bad. You can even stop at those parks. All those green spots are parks. But at the bottom left-hand corner is the mountain. So here's Mont Royal. Here's what it looks like. Once again, lots of bicycles showing you distinctly we're in either downtown or east end of Montreal. The Francophones really embrace the bicycle culture. And you could see the mountain in the background just there. Nah, looks pretty good. Nice walking. Once again, lots of terrace restaurants. You can just stop in almost any of them and have something great to eat. It's really, it's the good Montreal. If you want to eat well, it's pretty much the best place, I think, in North America. I don't think anybody does as good as them. So here's a view of Mont Royal. So we just basically, we're on the corner of Saint Laurent and Mont Royal almost. And we're going to look up the mountain. This is pretty much how the city got its name, from Mont Royal, Montreal. And it doesn't look that high from here, but still 200 meters. And a lot of people here come up here to do exercise. Once again, the being healthy and good looking is very important for Quebecois. You can see this guy running up the hill like an animal. We're going to look at it again from a bit closer. Often during the summer when it's sunny, all this place is full of people lying down on towels, taking in the sun, reading. It's pretty awesome. Of course, the highest structure, if you want, in Montreal is that big, giant St. Joseph Oratory on Queen Mary Street. You can go take a look at that. It's actually pretty nice. I've never went inside, really, and I live in the city, but it looks good from the outside. And the cross on top of this church is lit, so at night it's sort of like you see the cross from anywhere in the city. Like even if it's behind the mountain, the cross still is a little bit higher than the mountain, so you can see it. So that's pretty much Montreal in a nutshell. You can do this in, I don't know, 4 days and 3 nights, and just go eat out and have a great time. I'll post some links on where to eat out after. Just a few notes on the public transportation. So I'm just doing it from the from the beginning as you would at home. I'm just doing Montreal public transportation. All right, and then I would click on the English link below, as I'm going to do right now. Poof. All right, it's STM. That's the acronym for Société de Transport de Montréal. And on their website, you can look at, there's the transit system. You can see the orange, blue, and green lines for the metro. And you're going to have the rates and the fares. And they have really interesting packages for, I don't know if you're here for a week or a weekend or just during the night. It allows you to get on buses and metros as you want in the city. So if you have any comments, leave them below, and like this video if you like. If you don't like it, don't like it. And I hope to hear from you in comments with questions about the city. I can maybe answer them, or maybe I can't answer them.